Hi.
I pooped.
Well, ew. Well, I'm glad you saved it for the car.
Oh no, I pooped in the theater.
Well, that was fucking terrifying.
Good Lord.
So scary that he's hiding in the back seat. That would be really weird if, halfway to the video, fuck! Like 20 minutes later, by the time I'd forget that there's even anyone back there. Shit! Imagine doing the video if we were doing Midnights when Insidious comes out. Letty's at the backseat, puts on like the Darth Maul makeup, just or like that kid with the kabuki face and Sinister. Apparently, we had the only good movie tonight,
Which I'm fucking perfectly fine with after fucking grown-ups.
You mean after the best video on the site all year? Fake Josh Hadley really liked Grown Ups too.
Well, I'm glad his fake ass liked it.
So, The Conjuring, there's a reason it's getting really, really, really good reviews among some. Remember earlier when I said there probably wouldn't be anyone coming back in this parking lot?
I remember that.
That was 5 minutes ago. Well, there's a reason why this movie is getting really, 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 really fucking good reviews. Some of the best reviews a horror movie has gotten probably since, like, The fucking Exorcist. Because it really is that damn fucking scary.
Yeah, this thing, the best way I could think to describe it was like seeing a fucking horror movie when you were a kid. Like, it's like that level of, like, fear hits you. And I'm a grown-ass man. I turned 30 in, like, a couple of days.
Well, it's actually a horror film. It's not a jump scare movie. It's not... it's subtle.
Few like stingers or anything.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple. There's like maybe two. I don't know. There's a couple, but at that point they've fucking earned that. Like, a horror movie can be really fucking terrifying, and then 50 minutes in, throw in like a stinger or something like that. And if you go 50 minutes and you're still really fucking scary, you're still really invested what's going on, and you're still that fearful, at that point the movie's fucking earned it. Yeah. You know? It doesn't whenever it just throws it at you left and fucking right every 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, like the fucking Apparition. It's like the musical score to that one was stingers.
That was at least hilarious, because usually when... usually in, like, a jump scare movie, when there is a stinger, when there is an orchestral jump scare like that, technically something is happening, whether it's something jumping out at the camera, whether it's, like, creepy face or something like that. Apparition wasn't doing it for shit.
It's like a jump scare. It's like, why is it scary right now? She's in the shower. Creep!
Did something just happen right there and I missed it because I'm fucking asleep?
I think there was a jump scare in the other room and we just didn't see it because we're in the shower right now.
And here's a guy, and I really fucking dig James Wan's work. I dig the shit out of it. And it's one of his best movies. It really is. Yeah. Really, honestly, The Conjuring, it's one of the scariest movies I've seen since Insidious. I thought Insidious was pretty scary. This one's...
Well, just even in general, this is one of the few, like, horror films I've ever actually would really say, like, it's like name a scary one. Oh, okay, well, that's fucking easy now. Yeah. The Conjuring. Past that shit, let me think for a minute.
Yeah. This is... It's obvious that it's made by a guy who really, really, really grew up watching the same kind of movies we do. 70s haunted house movies. This is a guy who really, really digs shit like The Changeling, Legend of Hell House, stuff like that. And if Legend of Hell...
a fucking love letter.
Yeah. And if Legend of Hell House sent the benchmark for haunted house movies of the 1970s, this one does it for this decade. By fucking far. Yeah. By fucking far does it fucking do that. Like, even in the first 5 minutes, you really get the tone of this movie, that this is gonna be a horror movie of that era, and pretty fucking scary, as the best examples were of that kind of haunted house movies. In the opening credit alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this movie from the very beginning. Like it lets you know that it's not there to fuck around.
Mm-hmm.
Like it means fucking business. Like, you want a scary movie? Okay, let's get fucking started.
Yeah. With creepy dolls. James Wan loves his creepy dolls.
He's got the fucking creepy ones too, man.
Brian's sitting in the theater like, who would buy that? I lean over to Brian, that's what I'm like. Like, I would.
This entire movie was me yelling at the fucking screen. Like, it's like, why would you buy that? Why do you fucking own that?
I would so buy that. I'm that guy. I'm that dickhead who would just have that laying around his fucking house for no goddamn reason whatsoever.
It was kind of an odd
Keep it in my guest room.
It was kind of an odd moment because it starts off, it's setting this really tense tone with these like nursing students or something, like talking about like how they made contact with some sort of entity, and it was, you know, like it was like a little girl and it was trying to like be friends with them and stuff like that, and it really liked this doll that she had, so they gave it permission to inhabit this doll. And they kept saying doll, and I'm thinking like,
oh no, horror movie doll,
like fucking
Mary Shaw doll,
like fucking Cabbage Patch.
Yeah.
And then the camera pans over, and this thing is the size of a fucking person. Like, you just fucking... It's, like, all, like, rotted, and it's got, like, the wood is cracking. It's got, like, a giant split in its eye.
Hottest sex doll ever. No, it's okay. You just put a paper bag over its head. That makes it normal.
Yes, that makes it normal.
But, yeah, so they have a creepy haunted doll.
The look of that fucking thing was terrifying.
Well, you've seen the trailers for the movie. It's about a family that moves into a new house, and it's haunted to shit, and is fucking
crazy haunted.
Yeah, it's like fucking lights. And you know what? It's stuff that it's just stuff that's done amazingly well. Of course, it's a haunted house movie, so it has stuff in it that we've seen before, like the lights in the basement going out, creepy closets, creepy cabinets, but
clock stopping,
things like that. You know, the little kid who sees the ghost. But when it's done well, it's still to this day done fucking well, and this movie does it well, and it's really refreshing after seeing a bunch of movies that didn't do that shit well. Dark Skies.
Oh.
This movie actually has quite a few things in it where it's almost...
That was a terrible ghost movie. Turns out they were aliens.
Yeah. It's as good a ghost movie as the fourth kind.
No.
But what I like about this movie is many things. One, that it's simultaneously being about the family that's being haunted while also being about the demonologists who usually in this kind of movie maybe come into it in like the last act, you know, and stuff like that. But this movie, it's simultaneously about both of them. It's showing Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga. It's showing like how they're kind of dealing with this previous exorcism that they just went through, and it's showing what they do for a living. They go around touring, explaining their shit, and then we're also seeing the haunting of this family with Ron Livingston, Lily Taylor, and all these daughters. One of them, the girl from
White House Down.
White House Down, who's really good in this.
Yeah.
Really, really good in this. Like, she was annoying in White House Down, but in this, that scene where the ghost is, like, behind the fucking door and shit and under the bed.
I was talking to Letty about that whenever we were driving over here. I'm like that entire scene, like, I'm sitting like
yeah,
my fucking
me
chest
too.
is pounding.
Oh my god, like, I could see you over there, like, oh no. It was great because I could hear Brian, like, whenever something would go off, like, in the cellar or some shit, and they'd be investigating or door closing.
Fucking leave the house. Don't. It's like, oh man, the cellar door just flung open. Well, I should go look at it. Oh man, I just heard something banging around down there. Well, that's probably nothing. Oh, I'll just turn around and walk away. Oh no, now someone's playing the fucking piano.
Brian's
I
sitting
should
there
really
just,
go down there.
Fuck that. Every now and then I would hear Brian, nope, fuck that.
Leave.
Fuck this, leave. But you know what? Like Insidious, and one thing I liked about Insidious 2 was that Insidious it's sort of like the whole why don't they just move? And in Insidious they did. In Insidious
I
they
love
did.
that scene.
Yeah.
Where it's like, man, how are they gonna figure this one out? U-Haul.
Yeah.
Like, bravo.
And in
You
this
figured
one,
it out.
the subject is brought up in this one too, and they address it. They're like, we're a family of like 7. Where are we gonna go?
Yeah.
Like, so they're all like staying in the bottom floor of this house, just mattresses all in the room, just scared as shit. And that's the point, because it is like, yeah, 1971 here, a family of 7 living out in the country. Where else are they gonna go? So I mean, yeah, that was certainly a point. And
And they mentioned that they just moved states, so they don't even know anyone.
yeah.
Fucking no one. It's not even like, it's like, oh man, well, we know the Smiths like 3 doors down. You know,
Yeah.
I've barbecued with John like 15 times.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they fucking know no one. There is no one remotely near them.
Yeah.
Nothing. They're just fucking on their own.
Yeah. And I love too that no one in this movie totally ditches the annoying skeptic trope that movies like this usually have. Oh no, this shit is fucking happening in this. Like, there's no reason for anyone to be skeptical about shit in this movie. Like, once they see, like, hanging ghosts next to their head, yeah, they're fucking believing in that shit now.
There was Skeptic Cop.
Skeptic Cop, I understand, because he's just a cop who's just there.
It was like him trying to keep a level head about shit. Like they're
Officer Brad was his name, I think. Yeah.
they're like setting up this scene. Like I never actually really said why they had a cop there.
I
It's
get it.
there's like lights going on and off.
Oh, it's
in
the
front of
it's
us.
the motion light.
But yeah, they have a cop there with them while they're doing like their testing. I guess maybe for like verification purposes. Like, well, you're gonna trust a cop.
Yeah.
And he's like, nope, ghost, whatever.
But I
Bullshit.
get
and then
that.
shit happens. He's like, it's fuck it, man. It's like,
Well,
fuck.
Skeptic Cop though, the
Like
officer.
he immediately believes. He's still just like, I don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but he's still like a hard ass and everything. He's still a hard ass, but I like that because one, it's a character that you believe would be skeptical in that situation. He's just arriving at that house. He's just a cop friend of theirs, so there's really no reason for him to be a true believer at that point. But the second a character is being dragged around by their fucking hair and floating, oh yeah, he fucking believes that shit. And then at the end, when they're hauling ass in the house to stop possessed Lily Taylor, shotgun, bam, blow it off the fucking door, kick that sucker open.
He went fucking action movie. Like,
yeah.
yeah, there's a scene late in the film where they're trying to get into the house and it's locked, and out of fucking nowhere, just trooper comes out like, get back, shotgun, bow.
And it's great because this guy is still like, fucking, he's grabbing onto Lily Taylor, holding onto her and shit. He's like, God damn it. Punch. And like after taking a pair of 70s scissors to the fucking face.
Oh no, she bit his ass.
Oh, that was her biting him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that then. I thought she.
Oh, she was swinging those things around. No,
I thought she got him in the cheek with the scissors.
Or unless I saw it wrong. No, I was pretty sure she bit him.
Oh, okay. It could be either fucking one. Either one makes fucking sense. Yeah. Well, I like too that he's so good at directing this fucking movie that when someone is walking down a dark hallway and they look over into a room and off in the distance is the ghost of like a dead maid with her wrists slashed, that is scary. That alone is fucking terrifying. Just looking over, no other sound than just that thing standing there, that's horrifying. You don't need to add any kind of music or anything like that, any kind of artificial scare to it.
Let us know that it's there.
Yeah.
Make sure we fucking saw it. No, put a big fucking neon sign pointing to it. It was a ghost.
Yeah.
It's right there.
There's a fucking ghost just And it does that quite a few times in the movie, too, where, like, they'll be looking in a mirror, this toy box, and in the background you see this ghost kid's head staring at him. Again, it doesn't throw in, like, any kind of false music sting or anything. Just the sight of that alone is terrifying.
Well, and that's the thing that I really liked. I really liked in this one, like, how there's several scenes that are, like, very tense, like the slow push.
Oh, I like
and
that.
Like, you're like,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck am I supposed to see? And then there's nothing in that shot. But then, yeah, it's just someone's, like, walking by. He's like, ghost. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck!
Yeah, I did that.
It's like,
Did you
did you
fucking see that shit too? Please tell me you fucking saw that. Please tell me you saw the woman with like her fucking wrist cut standing in the background. Oh my god. And then creepy fucking old lady in the chair later on brushing the doll's hair and shit. Doll turning, giving creepy look to the girl in the room like, fuck me. God fucking damn it. This movie's worth every fucking penny. Jesus Christ. This seriously, like, no joke. This is one of the best horror movies I've seen in a long goddamn time.
Yeah.
Or even, and at the, and it, even at, in the last shot of the movie, when you expect, like, it'll probably, when you suspect, like, that any other movie directed by anybody else in that last shot would have done.
I was waiting for, like, the cheesiest, like, fucking YouTube jump scare.
Like it did at the end of
seen.
Sinister. At the end of Sinister, when Mr. Boogie, at the end of it, for no reason whatsoever.
Because
he's Mr. Boogie. Boogie.
Fucking name, I swear to God.
Mr. Boogie. And I even kind of liked Sinister, but this movie's way fucking better.
Yeah.
Way fucking better. This is an adult horror film for an adult audience that grew up on the same shit that we did. Hell fucking yes.
Well, and it was one of the things, too, is with this one, because a lot of, like, these newer, like, haunted house ones I've really been enjoying. It was a problem, though. It was, like, the one problem I had with, like, the Innkeepers.
Yeah.
That I thought this one did much better was, with the Innkeepers, it was very, very atmospheric, very tense feeling. But then once it actually, like, showed, like one of the spirits there, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of felt underwhelming. It was like, wow, well, okay, we just showed that.
Uh-huh.
Cat's out of that bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, this one, like, it did a good job of, like, letting it go a little ways before you really see anything. And then, like, when you do actually see it, like, really, like, that first time, like, when it's, like, sitting on top of, like, that fucking doorway to Narnia.
Yeah.
Looking fucking cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
And jumps down. I'm like, please tell me we're not going to be doing that for the rest of the movie. But no, like, it still did it, like, very sparingly. Like,
it honestly, it really did. Like that's a pretty quick shot. It pans up. The ghost is standing on that cabinet. Even that made me fucking jump like fucking crazy because again, it just pans up and it's just fucking there and
like,
just
oh yeah, there it is.
Kind of jumps on him. But yeah, then after that, you see the ghost kind of intermittently throughout it, and it's really well with that. It's really subtle with that. It only shows it when it absolutely freaking needs to. Like when Lily Taylor is having that like dream and the ghost is on top of her, and it very much easily could have lingered on that ghost's face for a very, very long time, and it really doesn't. It gets to about like
yeah,
like
it was a nice like
here
split.
and
like you just really only see about like this part of its face.
And even the visions that like Vera Farmiga was having, like it even does that really. It's even really subtle about that because she has visions of like the ghost hanging from the tree, but it doesn't linger on that. It shows you enough that you need to see to where it's freaking scary, and then you don't lose that feeling because it kind of lingers on it too long. And then when she sees the ghosts behind them, it isn't that she sees like, you know, like Insidious, that ghost kind of standing behind them. It isn't. She just kind of sees this dark presence just kind of just floating around freaking behind him. As soon as she walks in, again, like no one's a freaking skeptic here. This shit is fucking haunted.
It's like, oh, you got a ghost problem. Walks in the door like, oh, well, yep, there's one. And there's one. And,
yeah. Let's fucking exercise this fucking house. Jesus. And then, yeah, at the end, when it stays on this shot of the mirror, it's really, really uneasy. It's unsettling. There's some, like, fucking, like, you know, kind of rumbly sounds that it has going on in terms of the soundtrack. But then, you know, it cuts to the ending credits. It doesn't have any false ending, any really kind of gimmicky shit like that.
It's like Inception. Maybe there was a ghost.
yeah, and it even ends. It even ends like I leaned over to you and was like, "Was that a reference to Amityville?" Because it ends with.
I think it must have been.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson says like, "We got a call. There's something going on in Long Island. I don't know. Maybe we should check that out." And I'm like, so like, I could totally dig James Wan doing doing an Amityville horror movie.
He's gotta go talk to Ryan Reynolds real quick. It's like, what, man? I'm just out here chopping wood.
We're having fun, aren't we? And everyone in this movie too. That reminds me, bringing up the Amityville remake. Everyone in this movie looks of that time. Looks like they're from 1971.
It's like that same thing they did with like House of the Devil. Where it looks like everything in this looks period correctly. Like it doesn't look like a caricature of the 70s. It doesn't look like people trying like, it's like, oh, it's the 70s, so let's put a lava lamp in every fucking room, and like, you know, one of the kids will have like a big like afro and like a tasseled leather well, you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. So, yeah, in other words, it doesn't look like Dark Shadows.
Exactly.
Or even like the actors too. The actors, they just look like they're of that time. They don't look, meaning, okay, they don't look like that babysitter from the remake of Amityville, where it's like, all right, let's just pull some modern day college chick out of the crowd and throw some 70s hair on her and put her in the scene. Yeah, because people fucking look like that. No, it really feels very period. It does, I mean, other than maybe like a couple of CGI shots, it looks like a movie that easily could have been made 30 years ago.
And that was one of the things I was mentioning to Letty, like one of the big things was just it was just a blemish on an otherwise very fucking remarkable horror film, was just that goddamn CG rocking chair.
I didn't notice that. Was it CG?
When it like went flying across the room.
That happened so quickly that I didn't even notice it was.
Yeah, it was one of those things like for like there's like a split second when it's actually like when it's actually rocking and kind of like lunges. Mm-hmm. It's, as far as I can tell, a rocking chair. Yeah. But then when you actually see it like fly into like the door frame and like burst apart, like it looked really fucking like CG'd in there.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I mean, it's a quick shot.
Yeah, but it was just one of those things, like, with everything else in the movie pretty much being, like, practical for the most part. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, because there really wasn't that much that had to be CG'd. Like,
no, just like the part with yeah, even that was so darkly lit you could, I mean, it was nothing, but just that chair just kind of, I have a thing about chairs flying around in horror movies ever since the fucking Serpent and the Rainbow. They could have done that practical. Fucking they threw the chair at Ellen Burstyn in Exorcist.
Yeah.
The girl's reflection in the water, or when she sees the vision of her daughter in the water and whatnot. But to me, that looked okay. That
looked fine.
Yeah. I really liked too that. By the time it gets to the exorcism in the movie, they do it in such a way to where, yeah, we've seen exorcism scenes in countless movies. And yeah, typically they will remind you of The Exorcist because it's hard to do an exorcism scene without thinking of that because it's such a precise thing, you know, it's such a specific thing. But in this one, when they're doing it, they did it incredibly well because it's not, eventually it kind of gets there, but for the most part, it isn't Lily Taylor sitting there with like Reagan makeup on and white contact lenses, and they put like this like Friday the 13th Part 2 potato sack on her head.
Yeah, they like wrap her up in a sheet. Well, she's like freaking out. She's like stronger than like 5 fucking people.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's fucking like throwing dudes and shit like that, and she's strapped to the chair, which ends up breaking and levitates and whatnot. But they put this sheet over her, so you just hear her behind the sheet just screaming and yelling and screaming, and it's terrifying. It's really, really scary and intense. She's vomiting blood all over the thing.
It's like her fucking head exploded.
Yeah. It was an incredibly well done exorcism scene, and it doesn't do like, you know, the body contorting or anything like that. It's a really, really human movie. It's a really, really grounded without being too cartoonish haunted house movie, and it's all the better for it because it makes it moodier, it makes it fucking scarier, and it also on a specific character human level. Like, these are all, you get every single one of these characters. Like, you feel for these people bad. These are incredibly well-written people. I don't know much about the actual story it's based on.
I'm kind of curious now, though.
Yeah. If that shit fucking happened. Well, if that shit fucking happened, I'm scared, for one, and I believe in ghosts now.
Yeah, and it's the sort of thing, too, like, I think that exorcism scene, though, one of the things that's so great about it and how it is, like, very different is the fact that it's very, like, it's very, like, impromptu. Like, it's not like the fucking Exorcist where, like, they've got the bed made, like, this fucking lined in pillows so that she can't hurt herself, and she's strapped down perfectly, and they bring in, you know, like, the priests, and they're like setting up and doing like their vestments and like fucking doing Stations of the Cross and shit like that. Yeah. It's like, no, it's like him like, fuck,
we can't wait on word from the Vatican.
Grab me a Bible. We're just gonna do this.
Yeah.
We fucking just
grab the nearest Bible. All right, we're fucking doing this shit.
We're just gonna make shit up now because we got no time.
And I like that you leave.
I can't even imagine how long it would take to hear back from the Vatican in 1971.
Yeah, I did like the whole thing though after the exorcism scene where it's like, oh, we heard from the Vatican, we got approval to do the exorcism. Oh, thank God, they called just in time. Patrick Wilson is awesome in this. But I like that there's certain stuff about it, there's certain details that it leaves to your imagination. For instance, when it talks about something that happened to Vera Farmiga the last time that they did an exorcism. Like, she's never told Patrick Wilson what happened. He's never specifically asked her what happened. And
but it freaked his shit.
It freaks his fucking shit out. And she's kind of on edge from that too. Like, so yeah, it does. Honestly, I really, really do like that it just fucking leaves that to your imagination. Like, something fucking horrifying happened there. But I don't want to really, it's a thing, we can talk for an hour and 10 minutes on Lone Ranger, but something really, really fucking good like this, it's like I don't really want to do like a big point by point rundown of the whole thing, which I typically don't like doing on a really good movie anyway. So with this, it's like, yeah, just fucking go see it. Yeah. Fucking go see it and get spooked.
Well, because like I really like, I have to agree with like one of the TV spots for it is like showing like audience reaction and like little like Twitter Twitter updates from like people who saw it. And there's one that's like I saw it at the gym the other day, and I was looking up at one of the screens. It's like these are the nightmares that nightmares have. I'm like, it's like bullshit.
Nope. So it's like the soiling Here's your complimentary free diaper, guaranteed to make you shit your pants.
I'm still waiting for that movie, but goddamn, this is a good run at it.
Yeah, this is a good predecessor to The Soiling. But I think this movie is so above the trailers that do the audience reaction stuff, because let's face it, Devil Inside killed that gimmick, if that gimmick wasn't already fucking dead to begin with. Like, this movie is, to me, is above doing the night vision shots of the screeching audience in the crowd, because, like I said, I've seen too many shitty horror movies that do that in the fucking trailers.
I want to see one of those audience reaction trailers, but for like a like an art house like type film, like some shit like a Terrence Malick film. Like, just show like a couple like sitting in the crowd like,
oh,
and they just put up like, it's like, it was thoughtful.
Oh, so you mean they wouldn't be screeching, they would just be
no, I like that. Sitting like,
I like that a lot. That's actually really original. Because I've seen videos on YouTube before that do like it's the shrieking audience, but it's a trailer for like Garfield or some shit, you know? Like, I've seen that. Hell, actually, I think Film Rain did that with the Snob movie.
It was pretty scary.
Really, really scary. Noah's hair, it's too sexy and long for words. No human can have hair that luxurious. But I don't even know if I have anything else really.
Yeah.
I like I said, I'm a fan of this director. I've liked everything that he's done. Everything. Even what would be my least favorite movie of it, one of my least favorite movies of his, I can still find plenty of things I like, and as a whole, I would even like, let's say Dead Silence. Yeah, if I had to pick one that would be my least favorite, I guess it would be Dead Silence, but I even still kind of like that movie.
Yeah.
That whole stage show with Mary Shaw and the bratty kid in the audience and the puppet yelling at that alone was worth the ticket price of that movie. That was really kind of creepy. And Donnie Wahlberg is constantly shaving detective. Like honestly, like that probably, I guess, would be my least favorite James Wan movie, but I still like it. I still like it a lot. I would still recommend that movie. I still like the first Saw movie. A Death Sentence, I think, is great.
Fuck yeah.
Death Sentence is awesome. Insidious, I thought, was a damn effective horror movie, and it actually gives me a lot of hope that he's still directing Insidious 2. I didn't know that he was still attached as I knew Lee Wano was still writing it, but I didn't know he was still attached as director. But I just saw the other day that he is. So he's also directing. He's also directing the next Fast and the Furious movie. Shit's gonna get real.
So everyone is fucked in that series. It ends at 7.
I'm glad they have like an incredibly competent director like James Wan. I'm glad that it's kind of cool that they're getting him to direct part of that franchise. I hope that's all he directs of that franchise, because I don't want him to be like Justin Lin and just keep doing Fast and the Furious movies for the next 10 years, because he's no knock against the Fast and the Furious movies. The last few of them I honestly liked, but that's not the best place for James Wan's talents. This guy, like, really what this guy's done with his career is basically what we thought was going to happen with Shyamalan's career.
Yeah. Turns out when you find out you're that good, you kind of aren't anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, everybody says I'm the next Spielberg. Well, I'm just going to ride that shit right into the ground.
Killer win. Bam. Done.
Nailed it. It was just tiramisu.
I had that cough syrup. It was good.
I didn't even have a cough.
I'm glad that movie ends with those two having children.
Yay, hope for the future.
The Happening. Well, I highly fucking recommend this movie. I highly, highly, highly fucking recommend it. Like I said, and apparently it's the only fucking good movie playing right now. It's the only good movie coming out, and it's a fucking great one. So go check it out. That's my final words on it. You got anything else?
Well, basically, like kind of how like Pacific Rim is definitely like the fucking action movie to see so far this year.
Yeah, it is.
This is definitely like the fucking like if you see like one horror film this year, I would definitely say this one.
If you want to see one horror movie of the past couple of years,
well, yeah,
I would say this is the best. This is, granted, I am just thinking off the top of my head right now, but I putting it out there. This is probably the best horror movie I've seen in 2 years. In a couple of years.
Just a giant raccoon ran past me. That was random.
Dinner.
But yeah, well, it's one thing I was kind of worried about initially when I first even heard of this one, because kind of like how, like back when we were in like high school, it was like every fucking week, every fucking month, you had shit like
House on Haunted Hill.
Well, like how like after Scream came out, it was like a bunch of fucking clones of that. And it's felt like here recently, like we are getting an awful lot of fucking like haunted house type movies. And so I was just kind of like, oh great, well, you know, what's this going to be like, the equivalent of like fucking Valentine?
Oh God. No, I was sold from the trailers of this, because I knew that it was James Wan's next movie. I thought the trailers looked good, and I realized when you have that much faith in a director, you kind of set yourself up for disappointment sometimes, but I really do have faith in that fucking director. I do. So I did not think I was going to be disappointed in this movie, and dear fucking God, I wasn't. But there wasn't a moment where I saw a trailer and was like, well, that looks like shit, because no joke, I'm totally a fan of this dude.
Well, yeah, well, that was the thing for me, is like I hadn't caught a trailer for it in front of everything. I didn't know up front that it was James Wan. And then like I was talking to Sarah a couple weeks ago, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I saw this one. It was really good." And then I caught one of the, I guess like one of the TV spots for one of the other trailers for it, and it was not the best trailer. And even Sarah was like, "Huh." Well, now I'm less excited to see that one. I'm like, oh, great. So, I was like, so yeah, I kind of went into this one, like, not really expecting a whole lot. Yeah, I was fucking thrilled that this was the movie it was. Like I say, it starts off fucking strong, and it doesn't, like, it doesn't pull any punches. It doesn't at all like stop the motion. Like it just fucking powers through, like like where a lot of like ghost movies kind of start at like the slowest trickle of like, oops, your keys are on the floor, oops, did somebody leave that window open? Like this one just like I don't know, let's yank someone out of bed and throw someone down some fucking stairs.
Let's knock the fucking lights out too. Let's have some fucking hands come out of the closet right next to their fucking head. Fuck that. No, I'm leaving. No, 1,000 times no. Damn, 70s, you scary.
So yeah, I absolutely love the way this one was shot, the way it was made,
the way it was acted,
fucking involved with
the sound, the music, everything.
Fucking great soundtrack.
Really good soundtrack, man. And its lack of jump scare stingers and just letting it fucking be scary. So yeah, I loved it. I
gotta say though, that fucking house, even if it wasn't actually haunted, I would be convinced that house was fucking haunted.
There's some fucking history in that house.
Jesus Christ.
There's some history that's probably not very nice. Well, next week we've got, I think there's only one movie next week. The Wolverine. That's next week.
Oh man, I'll be out of town.
Oh, you're not gonna come back just for a night to watch Wolverine?
I will drive 14 hours to be back here to watch Wolverine, and then drive 14 hours back.
I got a good idea. You find out what the screening is up there, we'll put you through on speakerphone. Or even better, you can watch the X-Men Origins Wolverine. Again.
You're such a fucking asshole, man. Like, I just watched fucking Wolverine Origin again. That was so fucking good. Have you even seen that one yet?
I haven't. I have not seen Origins Wolverine. Honestly, like, I mean, yeah, I hear it's terrible, but no reason I haven't. Like, when it came, I think I was in between some jobs when it came out, or something like that, or I wasn't going to I couldn't afford to go to a movie every week when the movie first came out.
You think I paid to watch this shit? I saw it on, like, FX.
I'm not gonna watch that. They're gonna cut out all the language and sex and violence.
I think the PG-13 did that for
you. I've just never seen it. I've seen all the other X-Men movies, but I you know what? Maybe I'll watch it before the new one comes out. I like Liev Schreiber. I hear he's really good as Ray Donovan in Ray Donovan.
Actually, I did hear that show's pretty decent.
I hear that show's decent too, but that title kills it. That's like that title fucking kills it for me. Like, that title is to me what, like, the title Pacific Rim was to Spoonie, which he hated with the heat of 1,000 suns. The title, the movie he thought was okay, but the title, he was like, he hated that title so much that he's like, that doesn't tell me anything. Tell me where it takes place. The fuck does that mean? He hated that title so much that the title of his review is just Couch.
Because movies are never named after the place they're in.
He doesn't like that shit, but I'm kind of like that with, like,
Garden State.
Huh?
Knights in Rodanthe.
Like, Garden State's a slightly different.
I'm just saying.
Throwing out the Garden State reference. Some classic Zach Braff up in this joint.
I was trying to think of a movie that was named after a location. That was the first one that popped to mind.
What's that other fucking one where the title fucking ruined it for me? Captain Phillips.
It's a terrible title.
The trailer is really good. The trailer is, like, Tom Hanks is on this, like, tanker, and these Somalian pirates jump on board and take the ship over, so it's sort of like real world Casey fucking Ryback, I guess. Like, not that much of an action movie, but, like, it's a thriller on board the ship that gets taken over by, like, Somalian pirates. Like, wow, that actually looks really intense. Title, Captain Phillips. What? No. But, I'm gonna see something else that night. Captain fucking really? No.
The main thing that pulls in my head is fucking Captain Corelli's mandolin.
Not Captain Ron?
No.
He's Captain Ron!
that was had pirates in it.
That was my least favorite Kurt Russell eye patch movie.
That was my least favorite Martin Short as a comic asshole.
Three Fugitives was way better.
Yeah.
Three Fugitives has that great scene where Nick Nolte gets shot in the leg, and to get the bullet out, they take him to a vet, and he's pissed off, so the vet who's senile and thinks he's a dog gives Nick Nolte a bone to chew on. Worth it.
Such a better movie.
Yes. We've completely run out of shit to talk about. We've moved on to Three fucking Fugitives. So, alright. We'll see you next week with Wolverine. Later.